Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Ray here from Moss Pawn and Gun. Today we have a special video for you. We're going to be out here doing some shooting with some body armor here from AR500 armor.com. We got some ballistics gel. This is a guy named Joe Fitt. It's a ballistics gel torso with a ballistics gel head. And we're actually going to be shooting a bunch of different shotgun loads, both hunting and defensive loads, against body armor. And I'm really curious to see how the anti-spalling capabilities of this armor will fare versus various slugs and buckshot and everything like that. What do you think, Ray? Make an assessment. I
think it's going to wear it out pretty good. We've got some pretty hefty loads from Federal with their buckshot loads and some of their true ball slug loads. We've even got a Brennicky to throw in the mix there to see how that does. I think it's going to wear it out pretty good. I doubt that it'll penetrate the vest, but we're going to put the spalling compound to the test for sure.
Absolutely. This is going to be fun. And you know, when you see ballistics gel testing and you see armor testing and everything done all over the place, you don't really ever see things like shotguns. I mean, when you're in an entry situation, say you're a police officer or even you're just someone defending their home and you're worried about an intruder with a shotgun, well, I mean, a shotgun is an ideal close range firearm. So, you know, most of your body armor mishaps are going to occur at close range, and that's where you really need that defensive stature from the body armors when you're, you know, in a high risk situation where the enemy is really close to you. Yep. So let's get cracking. I think this is going to be fun. We're going to start pretty much with the weakest payload, work our way up, and as the plates start to get chewed up, we'll trade them out for more. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, guys, well, the first load that we're going to shoot is Federal's double-aught buckshot load. It's 9 pellets moving at 1325 feet per second. Relatively stout load, high brass. Let's see how it does. We're going to work our way up, and we're going to see how well Joe Fitt does. It's 95 degrees out here. It's hot as hell. He's already starting to do the ghetto lean a little bit, so we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah. All right. What do you think, Ray?
I think that put a nice little whop on it.
Let's have a look.
Let's take a see.
All right, let's see what that 9 pellets of double-aught did here.
Yeah, you can see Eric punched him right there in the middle of that pouch, so I'm sure it gave a good indication.
A nice tight cluster there.
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and pull the plate out and give it a quick inspection here. So we see that the anti-spalling coating did its job on the AR500 armor. Nice tight cluster.
Yeah, you can only see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of them are just right there in that one little small 2-inch area.
We can see that the spalling coating is raised a little bit. That's perfectly normal for what this armor is designed to do. We're going to go ahead and strap Joe Fitt back in here, and I don't see any kind of sprue or spalling on the Joe Fitt head here. Yes. It is hot as hell out here, and our block is doing a little bit of a lean here. However, let's step up the threat, and Ray will have a go, and let's see how much damage this plate can take before we start to show indications of spalling.
No doubt.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we're going to try this with the Federal double-aught buck 3-inch Magnum, so 15 pellet. It's running at 1,210 feet per second, and we're at approximately 7 yards from this target.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Man, I say he got rickrolled. Let's go look at that.
I think he did.
Well, Ray, that's the load I keep in my house gun. In fact, you're shooting my house gun.
Well, I would say that would definitely work on a bad guy, because that put the hurting on him and on my shoulder too, because those things kick.
Look at that.
Boy, it glued itself to that thing, man. It welded itself down, yeah.
All right,
let's see what happens.
Well, look at that. You can see the dispersion of the pellets in the carrier there.
It did open up a bit more.
It did. Let's have a look. All right, well, our torso, although a little bit deformed, our torso is unscathed.
Yeah, no hits on that.
This particular ballistics gel torso, by the way, this is one that I melted down last night. I may not have let him sit long enough. That's quite all right. He's holding up just fine.
He's doing what we need. But yeah, you can see we got a hit here, 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 here. It definitely peppered it pretty good. Definitely it's got a more open pattern than that 2 3/4 at the same range.
It does.
That would definitely be a better home load just because of the way it opened up at that quick of a, you know, at that short of a distance.
Well, I'll tell you what, he got lucky that he didn't catch any of that shot. So all of the armor here, or all of the shot, was stopped by this armor plate. So we've got one more buckshot load, and we're going to step up to slugs. We're going to swap out to a new plate, we'll shoot some slugs. How about that?
Did really well considering this one shot right here on the very corner of the plate. I mean, within a half an inch of the edge, and it didn't spall out anywhere. Not even close.
That's pretty impressive.
That was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Let's get them back together here.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we got one last buckshot round for you. This particular one I came across when we were at Moss digging around for ammo the other day for this test. And this is actually triple-aught buckshot, which is kind of cool. I've never really heard of triple-aught, and it's basically 8 pellets of 36 caliber projectiles. So they're round balls like buckshot, but they're 36 caliber. This load is moving at 1,325 feet per second. I'm really curious to see how these 36 caliber balls do against our torso. All right, let's have at it. Whoa, that rattled his cage. Now that thing had a little bit of recoil to it. See how it did. What do you think about the triple-aught?
Looks like you hit it pretty hard. I see you got it right in the same spot as we hit the other one. So
yeah, the wadding.
See some of the wad in there and the Grex.
Look at that.
The white stuff is the buffer that they use between the shot to keep it from deforming as it goes down the barrel, and call it Grex.
That's a filler. Basically.
It's a filler, yeah.
Okay.
It's just a kind of polystyrene that they grind up and put down in there.
Yeah, let's have a look here. All right, well, it looks like we didn't have any shots make it through to our ballistics gel torso.
No, definitely not.
He's a little deformed, but he's all right.
He's just melting down, that's
He's just
all.
melting down. All right, that looks good.
Yeah. You see it's starting to raise up a little bit, but it's still holding all of that stuff. That's a bunch of shots on it.
Yeah. I have to say that, you know, if somebody's going to stand in one spot and get hit by buckshot over and over again, they're probably so dumb that they don't need to live anyway.
I was going to say they might be tied down or already dead or something.
Well, yeah, that's just it. But, you know, I went into this test actually thinking that the buckshot was going to do the worst. And that's why we put the Joe Fit head on there, because I was thinking that the spalling was going to catch him in the face, and that's what we were trying to catch. And
nothing so far.
Even the hat, even the bill of the hat doesn't have any type of spalling on it. So buckshot, you're golden if you're wearing body armor, and especially if it's an AR500 variety like this. You guys know, I don't know if you heard recently, but they've actually got some legislation that they're trying to push through to ban certain types of body armor.
That's true.
So it's just really crazy to think that, I mean, what kind of world do we live in where people can't even have the right to defend themselves? You don't have to own a gun to own body armor.
I would say that's a very passive way of defending yourself, just by wearing body armor. I mean, It's no different than putting your seatbelt on when you drive your car. You know, some other idiot's going to be the one hitting you. So why not wear your seatbelt? That's a seatbelt. That's all it is.
It's a bullet seatbelt.
It's a bullet seatbelt.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to retire this plate. We're going to grab a fresh one, put it in the front, and we're going to step up to some slugs.
Let's put some slugs on this thing. We'll see what that really does.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to start with some slugs now. We've got the Federal True Ball. It's a 1-ounce slug. It's moving around 1,600 feet per second. And this ought to put a good slap down on this target.
It's not going to be a good day for Joe Ray. Oh, Nelly! All right, this is what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm curious too as to see how it did.
Wow, look at that hole.
Knocked a big old hole in him.
Yeah, it did. Ooh, stopped it.
It did stop it.
Look at that hole.
Yeah. If you didn't have that on, you'd be in a bad way.
You surely would. You surely would.
That raised up a big old welt on that thing.
I'm really curious to see what the energy transfer is like, and that's why we run the slow-mo, so we can really see kind of what's happening,
see what it's doing,
as he's being hit. I don't see any spalling.
No.
I don't see any issues there. That's really the only reason I had Joe fit here is the ballistics torso, although, well, he's a little wonky looking, but I have Joe fit here so we can see if we get any spalling or other things going on the, you know, against his head. No issues.
No, nothing at this point.
Yeah, let's
step up
the thread a little bit. I think we got a stouter slug.
Oh yeah, I know we do.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right, guys, we're stepping up the threat here. We got a 1 1/4 ounce rifled slug from Federal. This slug is moving at 1,520 feet per second. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And when it comes to shotguns, I don't know why, I've got a soft spot for slugs. There's just something about the carrying energy of a slug. The weight of the slug, the speed it's traveling, they just mess things up. You know what I mean? And that's why I like them. All right, here we go. I'm gonna aim a little bit higher than Ray's to see if we can maybe replicate some spalling. I wanna try to get that spalling to break through on the top edge of the plate. So let's see how lucky Joe is. Whoa, yeah. Wow, that rattled my can.
That moved him around a bit.
Let's have a look. All right, guys, well, that slug really pounded the crap out of this plate.
Got him right there.
That's exactly where I was aiming. That shotgun put that slug right where I want it to go. I was literally aiming at the bottom of this flap. One thing I want to make an observation about is we're observing here the anti-spalling capabilities of the plate, and we're trying to produce a spalling effect against the torso and against the head.
Yep.
We're getting a little bit up here on the brim of the hat, but we're finding that it's actually from the Grex and the buckshot. So that's why when you look at guys that wear, say, combat hearing protection like Wiley X or anything like that, that type of eye protection is really good for protecting yourself from little things like that. That Grex can still be moving fast enough to put out an eyeball or...
Certainly put you out for a minute or two while you got it out of your eyes.
Let's pop her apart.
See what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, got a little bit of flake in there on the top, and that's what I was trying to make happen. I wanted to see that round hit towards the upper end of the plate and pull that spalling coating off of there a little bit, and it looks like it did.
I would say whatever it did get out, it didn't get through the ballistic carrier. You can see a few little small pieces here, but that's probably just what shook out when we picked it out of there.
Sure.
You can see a little bit there, yeah.
It's looking good. So I think what we're going to do, we've got one more slug that is a real battle axe.
It is a barnstormer.
That we're gonna sling at this thing. So Ray, why don't you take us home here?
Alrighty.
All right, let's do it, man.
Nice.
Yeah, Joe's looking a little depleted, but I think life's going to go on. Let's make it happen.
All right, it's going to be our last slug. We're going to run one of these Brennecke Special Forces Barrier Penetrator Magnums. It's 1 3/8 ounces. This thing's screaming. It's going like 1,630 feet per second. Our Joe Fit down there is more or less turned into Joe Turtle, so I think he's pretty well done, but we're going to finish him off right now.
It's going to be ugly. Oh, man. Oh,
all right.
crap.
Let's see what that did to his ass.
All right, guys.
Looks
Man,
like,
that slug is badass, isn't it?
Looks like Joe Turtle took a little bit of a hit there on that one.
Yeah, he did. Go ahead. Oh, what was that?
That was the base wad out of that thing.
Look at that, flattened out. That by itself wouldn't be too pleasant.
No.
Let's go ahead and, why don't we take the armor all the way off of him, because we're done with him. He's a little wonky looking, but that's okay. Here, just pull the plate out here. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa. Well, that ate a big old hole in that thing.
Look at that. But it didn't make it through the armor.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. But that anti-spalling coating really did its job. One thing I want to note here, we've got some spalling that hit the hat here. So Joe's hat he was wearing took a little piece right there.
Yeah, you see a couple little dimples and divots in there that it got.
Yeah, but that's about it. I don't think he really took any damage to his face or anything.
Doesn't look like it, no.
Looks like yeah, you can see where the one little piece made it through right there. That's pretty impressive, guys. I mean,
it did put a little bit of a dimple on the back of that plate.
You're not going to stand in one place and get shot in the same exact spot with 2 slugs back to back. I mean, Ray put that slug exactly where he wanted it. I told him to put it in the same hole, and he did.
That's definitely a good plate. I mean, to take that kind of abuse and still be together, I mean, yeah, it's starting to come apart, but again, it's done what it's supposed to do. I mean, after 3, solid hits out of these slugs, it's still pretty much together.
Check it out.
Yeah, that was that true ball from the one before.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I tell you what, we're pretty much done with the armor for the day, but our Joe Fit torso, he's gone through this whole thing just completely unscathed. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take all the armor out of the way, and we're just going to give him a nice, good chest shot with maybe something crazy.
One of those big true ball slugs.
Yeah, let's do it.
A slug and another load of buckshot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really impressed with this armor, though. On a serious note, it really's done the job. We're going to be doing some more work with body armor, namely AR500 type armor. We're going to be doing a video where we shoot it at long range. So we'll be taking some 300 Win Mags, 338s, 50 cals, and we'll be demonstrating what happens to you when you get hit with something like that at like 500 or 600 yards and you're wearing body armor.
Yep.
So looking forward to that rather. Let's go ahead and blast Joe Turtle here. He's not looking too healthy.
No doubt.
Let's put him out of his misery.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, guys. As you can see, our Joe Turtle more or less turned into Joe Turkey. We're going to finish this bird off. Just like that.
All right, guys, a little bit of an afterthought here after the video. In the outro, Ray started pelting the Joe Fit torso down with some 1 ounce true ball slugs from Federal.
Yep.
And we actually caught a couple of the slugs in the ballistic gel. So we're gonna go ahead and cut Joe Fit open. He took a wadding to the center of the cranium. So he's got a wadding stuck in the middle of his skull. As you saw, he shot it in the turkey position, so he was kind of laying down. Well, we got some slugs here. Let's go ahead and cut these bad boys open here. See what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh man, check that out. There's one.
One right there, top of your finger.
Yep. So we got a couple of...
oh, there's a true ball.
Yep.
The plastic ball.
Look at, there's the plastic ball. Well, they don't really stay in one piece. They kind of break apart.
They're fragmented good.
They did fragment.
Man, that's a lot of deep penetration. There's one big piece there.
Yep. Look at that.
There's one whole one.
Oh, wow. Check that.
That's
that's
wad,
a wadding. So that wadding went all the way into Joe Fit there.
And it went a long way. 7-8 inches of penetration after it went through that.
You sure did pelt him. I know that this particular, look at that, there's a piece of lead. Well, Joe Fit would have certainly been an unhappy camper if he were a real man. Look at that.
No, he would be no real man anymore. He'd be eviscerated.
Yes, he would. Well, anyway.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. It penetrated probably, I don't know, 14 inches, 15 inches maybe there.
Yeah.
But guys, this is why you should wear body armor, okay? You know, it's the difference between being dead and being alive, okay? You saw that that Ray there pretty much made short work of Joe Fit because he wasn't wearing any body armor. Sometimes having an advantage can be as simple as just wearing body armor, protecting yourself. You don't know what type of threat's going to be
you never know.
at your door.
Yeah, it's always good to have the option. If you don't have the option, then hey.
That's it. Well, we appreciate you watching today's video. We had a lot of fun making this one. Hopefully you guys did too. We appreciate all the support that we've gotten. Many of you guys have come through the pawn shop to say hello, to buy things. We really appreciate the support, appreciate your patronage. We hope you'll join us next time. We got much more of this stuff coming.